knowledge with reality. All right? And untruth is knowledge without reality. Okay, so an interesting thing is, like many different philosophical backgrounds, different schools of thought, when you look at it, they all point to the same thing. It's knowledge that points us to a truth. So what I did is I came up with the elements of truth to kind of help us point to different things. The last session that we dealt with was cause and effect, knowledge of cause and effect. And which that was really, we got into it. Yeah. So we really delved into that, the knowledge of cause and effect. And the basically 4 different basic elements of the elements of truth is knowledge of cause and effect, knowledge of how. If you ask the question how long enough, they'll bring you to a truth. They'll bring you to a solution. All right, knowledge of motive and intention, and also knowledge of environment and morale. We think about all the different other knowledge things that comes in it, but it probably falls apart in some kind of different way. So what we're going to do today is knowledge of environment and morale, which is pretty interesting. Who's on the thread talking about that. So we're going to try to just tap into that. The good thing about this is it's interactive, okay? And so you're going to be looking at yourself in terms of how it relates to the environment. And as you do that, because the environment is you. The environment is a reflection of the mental, right? The environment is energy. The environment is contagious, which means it can transfer or you can get in contact with the environment and it can shape what? Your behavior, right? You see what I'm saying? Say again? It's infectious, yes, the word that it's infectious. So we can say environment is contagious. All right, and so we get into this, we think about environment, we break the word environment, we look at the prefix environment, which means surrounding. You look at the word ment, it means the mind, or mental. So the environment is anything that surrounds you that impresses your mind. It's your mindset. And so we have to look at it as like, what are the different things that is impressing our mental? Because at the end of the day, and we don't understand, like if you look on the thing I said, there's a scripture proverb that says, when a man or a woman thinketh in their heart, so is he. So is he or she. So is your reality. So is your environment. So your mental precedes the environment. All right? So your mental precedes with the impressions that you have. Now, there's some environment already in existence that we come in contact with, so we know that. But the end of the day is the environment existed somewhere in someone's mental and it got projected and it got established. Somewhere, sometime, or whatever, and it's in existence. And then we talk about, so when we think about the environment, today we're going to focus more on that interpersonal environment, and I would say intermediate environment. But then there's also like a macro or external environment. That macro external environment we all can relate, like, political environment, say the healthcare environment, right? The educational environment. All right, but we're going to kind of we're not going to deal with that too much. We can go there, but at the same time, we're not going to, go there because in the day is the environment that's inside us dictates how we want to interact with the environment on our external world. So the question is the environment, is my immediate environment a reflection or is it in connection with my personal environment? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of tap into that and see if it's mirroring, okay? If you think about it, you have to turn it, but I have this page right here, okay? This is just to give us like a little visual. If you look at it, yes, I'm guilty, I was at work and I kind of did this. When you look at it, you got inner environment and outer environment, okay? And you see that line, that line represents is that equilibrium, trying to find that balance. So what happens is in life, a lot of times, we have a clash or we have a paradox. In other words, a contradiction that's going on in our lives that's causing our line to tilt. So what we got to do is we got to figure out how to make that line be straight, balanced. East to west, right? Straight horizontal, right? So if it's tipping it, we got to discover what it is. So as we get interacted into this whole discussion, this vibe session, we're going to, everyone's reality is personal different. We all have different things we're dealing with. Right. It don't have to be negative, it don't have to be bad. We just, we got different things we're dealing with. But it might be something that's tilting that balance. Or you might be balanced. Yeah, that's possible too. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw that out. Okay? And so that's what we're doing. So if you think about that, environment is also a collection of moods. It's a collection of moods, right? It's just an aggregation of conditions and cultural dictations that we have in our life. You see what I'm saying? So we can say environment is culture. Okay? And so what is culture? Culture is self-expression. It's a self-expression that we have either through tradition, we maintain through tradition, or through upbringing that we've been bred up into, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a self-expression, or it could be a communal expression, or it could be a group expression. But inside an environment, you also have culture. So an environment is a container of energy, and that energy is sustained a lot of times by what? Culture.